The NBA Finals are over. There's no Phillies baseball tonight. So what are we going to do? I got nothing to do. So I figure it's a perfect night to release my official, full, complete, ultimate NFL quarterback ranking list for 2025. Guys, I got one question for you.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? We're live in 30 seconds. And a very good evening, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the PM. Another special episode going live at night instead of our typical mornings here on the STT Sports Network, guys. I'm Phil Stiefel. Guys, do me that favor, wherever you're watching, make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you smash that share button. And, of course, subscribe to the STT Sports Network YouTube page, the only channel that's setting the trends for what sports talk should be, and the only channel where your opinions actually matter, guys. So it's literally free to do. All you got to do is click that like button, click that share button, subscribe. And, of course, you can vote on our poll on the STT Sports Network YouTube page. If you're watching on Twitter, head on over to the YouTube page if you want to vote on our poll. Where should Jalen Hurts be ranked in our quarterback ranking list? 1, 2, 3 to 5, 6 to 10. Not in the top 10. That's your poll question of the night. Guys, we're going to have a little fun. We're going to recap the first, from 6 through 32 here in a moment. And I'm finally going to release where I've got Jalen Hurts and the top 5 quarterbacks on this list. You know, there's nothing else going on. There's no NBA anymore. The draft's in a few days. There's no Phillies baseball. Let's talk quarterbacks. Let's talk quarterback rankings. Everybody loves a good quarterback ranking show or a good quarterback ranking list. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. That's right. Trending in the PM. Second time in like 4 days, man. I've been busy at the pizza shop. A lot of catering, a lot of early orders lately. So I've had to dip out of the morning show the last couple times. We'll be back in the morning on Wednesday. We'll have Sean Bernard on Wednesday morning previewing the NBA draft. Thursday morning, we will have Dives, a.k.a. Mr. Crockpot, Party on Broad on, recapping whatever the Sixers do. But for tonight, we'll cover today's morning show and tomorrow's morning show by going live here in the PM. We got myself a little mojito working. Mojitos are perfect on a hot day. Perfectly refreshing drink on a hot day. So make sure you guys vote on the poll. Make sure you hit the buttons, like, share, subscribe. And let's get to it here. Let's talk the NFL quarterback ranking list, the ultimate quarterback ranking list. Now, the way I do my list, this is not who's the best. This is not who's the best over the next 5 years. This is not who's the best all time. This quarterback ranking list is judged solely on who I want starting a game in 2025. Who do I want as my starting quarterback in 2025? That is how this list is ranked. This is just going in for one season. I need to win the Super Bowl in 2025. Who am I selecting and why? That's how this list has been put together. So we're going to break it down. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put up to refresh the part of the list that has already been released to the public. Number 6 through 32 has already been done. I've already talked about it. I've already posted it. I've already commented on it. But we're gonna refresh it. We're gonna re-talk about it a little bit. And in a few minutes, we'll put the top 5. We got another graphic for the top 5 here. We'll put that out there. Of course, at the bottom of the list is the New Orleans Saints at number 32. Again, probably the worst quarterback room in all of football is the New Orleans Saints there. Number 31. Now, I know Aaron Rodgers is now the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this list was originally started before that happened. But I made it clear as day. I am not changing my philosophy on how much I dislike Aaron Rodgers. So I'm leaving the Steelers at number 31, despite him probably being better than a couple guys ahead of him. The Cleveland Browns are number 30. Again, we don't even know who is starting for the Cleveland Browns at this year. So we're going to leave the Cleveland Browns at number 30. Number 29, Anthony Richardson, Colts quarterback. Don't even know if he'll be starting for the Colts this year, honestly, at this point. But he should be their favorite to win the job. Anthony Richardson, 29. The worst known quarterback in the NFL at this point, Anthony Richardson. Number 28, Bryce Young. I think Bryce Young at the end of last year showed some glimmers of hope, a little potential here or there to maybe turn himself into a decent quarterback. But for the time being, we still don't know. We still don't know how good he is or isn't. So we're going to leave Bryce Young at 28. 27, number 1 overall pick in this past draft, Cam Ward with the Tennessee Titans. Yes, good morning. Oh, wait, evening. The hate on Herbert continues, and Baker at 13, he's a dog. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that, Joe. The hate on Justin Herbert. You mean the overhype that you have on Justin Herbert. Again, this list is who I want starting for my team in 2025 and 2025 only to win myself the Super Bowl. Just so you know. And ain't no hate on Justin Herbert. There's just a lot of overhype on him. Cam Ward, 27. 26, Minnesota Vikings, sort of rookie quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. Looks like he's going to be the starter for that team this year. I don't know if he's going to be any good or not. I loved him coming out in the draft 2 years ago or a year ago. So we'll see if he's able to live up to what I thought was some hype on him. Number 25, Michael Penix Jr., who should be starting for the Atlanta Falcons this year. Number 24, one of the most overhyped guys, one of the top-paid quarterbacks in the league, Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence. God, there's a lot of quarterbacks that are overpaid in this league, but I don't think there's a quarterback as overpaid as Trevor Lawrence. The dude has just not been able to live up to the hype, not been able to live up to the number 1 pick. This ain't his first year. This is going to be his 4th or 5th year now in the NFL. Trevor Lawrence should be better. He's not. Number 23, Russell Wilson, who's going to be starting the year with the New York Giants. Whether he stays the starter, I don't know. We got our first vote on the poll saying that Jalen Hurts is not a top 10. By the way, again, if you're watching on Twitter, head on to the STT Sports Network YouTube page to vote on our poll. Where should Jalen Hurts be ranked in any quarterback ranking list? 1 or 2. Option 2 is number 3 through 5, 6 through 10, or not a top 10 quarterback. Make sure you head on over there and vote on the poll, and make sure you hit that like and share and subscribe button while you're on the YouTube page. Russell Wilson, now 23. Tommy Ladd. Oh, poor. We're going to talk about Tommy Ladd, K1, tomorrow night on Fairway to Heaven. Guarantee that. And his tears last night. I've got Patriots quarterback Drake May at number 22. Jets quarterback 21, Justin Fields. I actually think Justin Fields can have a really, really solid season with the Jets. They have talent on that offense with Breece Hall, with Garrett Wilson. I think you're going to see a little bit better from Justin Fields this year. Number 20, Bo Nix. That's the rookie quarterback that broke out last year that's going to have the sophomore slump. Not Jaden Daniels, who you see at number 6 on this list. I got Bo Nix at number 20. Number 19, the cast-off, the forgotten guy, Sam Darnold, who won 300 games in the regular season with the Minnesota Vikings, to be cast aside. I like Sam Darnold. I feel bad for Sam Darnold. He's at number 19. Bears quarterback, Caleb Williams, 18. I am not a Caleb Williams fan. I don't think he's got the it factor. And that's when we talk the top 5 quarterbacks here, we're going to talk a lot about the it factor. You know, because we're talking about guys we think can win a Super Bowl for your team. Caleb Williams doesn't have the it factor yet. Still got some maturity, some growing up to do. We're going to see. We're going to learn a lot about Caleb Williams this year. Geno Smith, number 17 on the list. We got Sam Darnold, taking the similar path of Geno Smith, rejuvenating his career and finding a home in Seattle. Geno Smith at number 17 with the Raiders this year. Number 16, we get in the top half of the list. The most average quarterback in the league, Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott. I want to cheer for Dak Prescott if he was on another team, but he's a Cowboy. So there might be some Cowboy hate in that prediction at number 16 there. And I need to hear Goff over Stafford. Did the Rams mess up that trade? We're going to get to that in just a few moments for sure. But number 15, Joseph. This is the one. This is the one going back to your comment here about the hate on Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert at number 15 on my list. The most overrated quarterback in the NFL. What has Justin Herbert ever done to deserve the hype? I hate these new headlines. The hype that he gets. I don't understand why so many people love Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is nothing but an average quarterback in the NFL. Does not have the it factor. Doesn't know how to win a game. Just trying to check something there. Justin Herbert is so average. So average. Who is the least average quarterback? Out of all the, well, I would pretty much say everyone from 7 through, 7 through 23 is average. Who's the least average? The worst of the average would be number 23, Russell Wilson. There's a lot of average quarterback play in the NFL at this point. A lot of average play in the quarterback position. What has Kyler Murray ever done? Kyler Murray has never had the hype that Justin Herbert has. That's the thing. Justin Herbert is constantly told or told by people to be one of the greatest quarterbacks in the NFL. He's always in the top 5. Justin Herbert had a 30-point halftime lead in a playoff game a few years ago. What did he do with that? Nothing. Kyler Murray's never really had the opportunity. Now, Kyler Murray's going to have the opportunity this year. Kyler Murray, I have some expectations. And Kyler Murray is a guy, Joseph, that I was very down on the last couple of years. Kyler Murray is much further down this list last year. I think Kyler Murray, with Marvin Harrison this year, is going to have an improved season. I do. That's why Kyler Murray's number 12 on this list. But Justin Herbert, what has Justin Herbert ever done to deserve the praise that he gets? Nothing. He's done nothing. Herbert can't write a book like Hurts can. That's true. At least Jalen Hurts can write a good children's book out there, right? Dak is probably the mid of the mid. Dak is the most average quarterback there is. And unless you're a Cowboys fan, nobody ever puts excessive hype on Dak Prescott. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. See you tomorrow. Little G, how you doing? What has Tua ever done? Look, there's got to be one aspect of this conversation that's got to be understood, Joseph. Pretty much everybody that I have from 11 through 16 are interchangeable. It's just personal preference. I think Tua, if he didn't have the injury history, the concussion history, could have been and can be a damn good quarterback. It's just the only reason why Tua is not in my top 10 is because of the concussion issues. Out of Herbert, Murray, Tua, I'm taking Herbert 10 out of 10. Now, I will say, let me preface this by saying, I hate on Justin Herbert a little more than most just because of how many people love Justin Herbert. What has Justin Herbert done so much better than Kyler Murray and Tua? That's my question for you. Why are you taking him over there? Because he throws a pretty spiral? He don't have no it factor. You cannot put a game on Justin Herbert's shoulders and expect him to win it. Justin Herbert gets so much hype for zero success. At least Tua and Murray don't get the same kind of excessive hype that Justin Herbert does. And I love how you say Tua instead of trying to spell out his last name just like me. Because God knows I don't know how to spell his name or pronounce it properly. Good evening. Judd, how you doing, my man? We got a little Mojito por favor going tonight. As we break down this list, we're recapping numbers 32 through 6 before I reveal my top 5 quarterbacks. And again, the way I built this list, who I want starting for my team in 2025 to ensure my team wins a Super Bowl. Justin Herbert will never, ever play in a Super Bowl in his career. I guarantee that right now. Bo Nix is greater than Jordan Love. I see Bo Nix not Jay Daniels having the sophomore slump this year, K1. You've heard me say it before. I think so. Now, I like Bo Nix, and I think Bo Nix is going to have a solid career for sure. I just don't know if he's going to live up to his rookie sensation hype that he had last year. Where are we on the list? Justin Herbert, 15. Brock Purdy, newly minted, newly paid man, franchise quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. At least Brock Purdy's played in the Super Bowl. We'll say that, right? Baker Mayfield at number 13. I am a huge Baker Mayfield fan. I think Baker Mayfield, just like Geno Smith and hopefully like Sam Darnold, were able to turn their careers around after so much, I guess I would say, so much mediocreness early in their careers. I'm a huge fan of what Baker Mayfield's been able to turn his career into. There's a lot of bad. Jimmy Garoppolo played in a Super Bowl. Brad Johnson did. Trent Dilfer did. Jake Delhomme played in a Super Bowl. Rich Gannon played in the Super Bowl. There's a lot of guys that did. But Brock Purdy at least got to one over Justin Herbert. All I care about, and those that listen to me regularly know, I don't care about fancy stats. I don't care about who throws the best back shoulder throw. I care about who is going to give me the best chance to win a Super Bowl. At the very least, get to a Super Bowl. That's how I make my ranking list. Did Sexy Rexy play in a Super Bowl? When did he play in a Super Bowl? Not with Washington. With the Bears? Was he the Bears quarterback? Justin Herbert's best stats year 2021, 5K, 38 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. But last year was very efficient, 3 interceptions, and an 11-6 season, and with who catching the ball. Oh, so it's always about the rest of the team. I get that. And in 2021, that was the year the Eagles played the Chargers, right? At Lincoln Financial Field. And I was at that game. This is the last Eagles game I've been to. And I watched him beat the Eagles. And I said, what did he do that was special there? Nothing. 2021, 5K, 38 touchdowns. What does that do? What's Justin Herbert done in the playoffs? How does he elevate? So Jalen Hurts gets criticized because he's got talent. But Justin Herbert gets a pass because he doesn't have talent. If you gave Justin Herbert, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith, would you say you can't rate him well because he's got talent? You wouldn't say that. Justin Herbert, great quarterbacks, elevate talent. Go back to 2019 and Carson Wentz. I loved Carson Wentz back then. He took Greg Ward and Boston Scott, put them on his shoulders and carried them to the playoffs. Justin Herbert doesn't do nothing like that. Justin Herbert's all hype and no substance. Doesn't have the it factor. Plain and simple. Rexy started for the Bears. Was Rex? Either that Super Bowl was a lot longer ago than I thought, or Rexy played longer in the NFL than I realized. You know me, K1. I can't keep track of dates very well, and the timeline and stuff like that. Man, he was on that game. Wow. I love Justin Herbert. He brings out the he does. Remember, I was kicked out of a fantasy football league because I said Justin Herbert was just Phillip Rivers in 2022. And the commission didn't like it, so he kicked me out of the league. And I was like 5-1 or 6-1 in that league at the time. Seriously. Justin Herbert's mid. Justin Herbert is no different than Dak Prescott. Flashy stats in the regular season. Not doing it when it matters. And that's all that matters. Winning in the big moments. Winning the big games. That's what matters most. That's at least my opinion. Baker Mayfield. 12, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray still ascending. I may agree with Joseph, and I may have Kyler Murray a tick too high on him. There's an argument to be made that he should be 14 or 15, which would then bump Justin Herbert down a little further. There is an argument that I may have seen something in Kyler Murray that's not there last season. Okay? Tua Tagovailoa, or however you say his name, number 11. Again, without the concussions, I think Tua would have a much better success rate in the NFL. I really do. All right, we're at, 14, 15 people on YouTube right now? Guys, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you're voting on the poll. You're hitting the like button and you're subscribing. You're hitting that share button, guys. I'd greatly appreciate it. We're going to release the top 5 on my list, which is sure to piss Joseph and somebody else off. I hope Herbert falls out this year so you can rant every week how overrated it is. Dude, he can ball out all he wants. When January rolls around and the Chargers don't do shit, we'll see. And you know what? This is a big year for the Chargers and Justin Herbert. The Chiefs might be taking a step back this year. Maybe for the first time in a while, the AFC West is up for grabs. Maybe. And once you think Patrick Mahomes is down, Patrick Mahomes will have another MVP season. You got the best quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and one of the best coaches of all time with the Chiefs. And maybe Justin Herbert just fell in a bad time. You know, he just happened to fall his career at the time of Patrick Mahomes, which kind of put a dent into things. But Justin Herbert, I mean, you can make the argument with Josh Allen. At least he went toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes in playoff games. Justin Herbert don't win when it matters. Not even close. I still can't get the stink. You had a 30-3 lead at halftime against Trevor Lawrence, who's number 24 on my list, in a playoff game a few years ago. And you blew that lead. Yeah, it was partly the defense. But the offense has got to take some blame. Oh, but he didn't have talent. Keenan Allen, he's talented. Mike Williams, when healthy, he's talented. Austin Eckler was talented. He's had talent with the Chargers. Maybe not top 5 talent. Maybe not A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley. Maybe he didn't have a Travis Kelce. But he still had talent with the Chargers. Tua at number 11. Number 10, C.J. Stroud, Houston Texans quarterback. I could see a big bounce back year for him. A lot of people say he had a sophomore slump, which he did. He still won the division. And you want to talk about who did Justin Herbert have? I mean, C.J. Stroud's entire team got hurt last year. Half his offensive line, half his offensive weapons were out the air. So C.J. Stroud, number 10. Number 9, Jordan Love, Green Bay Packers, starting quarterback. This is going to be a big test for him. Talk about elevating talent. The Packers have 19 number 2 wide receivers. Can he elevate one of them to superstardom? Can he carry this team in an NFC North that is ripe for the picking? Detroit, maybe they take a step back. Maybe they keep their grip on the division. The Vikings going to J.J. McCarthy might take a step back. We'll see if Caleb Williams can mature or not. Jordan Love could win that division in the North. I don't know if he will or not, but he could. Now, number 8-7, this is a comment from Joseph earlier. Where is it? Goff over Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford's still a great quarterback. But again, Matthew Stafford's a little long in the tooth. Matthew Stafford's getting up there in age, in my opinion. I don't know how much more Matthew Stafford's got left in the tank. That's why I put him at 8 and Goff at 7. I think Jared Goff is one of the most underappreciated quarterbacks in the NFL. Went to the Super Bowl already with the Rams. Got traded away. Led the Lions in number 1 seat in the NFC. Yeah, fell short in the playoffs. I get it. I think Jared Goff has the best chance to knock the Eagles out of the NFC Championship game this year. And I still am sad that we didn't get to beat the Lions in the playoffs this year because of their early exit. I think Jared Goff, just because of age, I put him just a tick over Matthew Stafford there. But that's just me. Number 6. I know everybody thinks Jay Daniels is going to have a huge sophomore slump just because C.J. Stroud supposedly did. I do not think so. I think C.J. Stroud is going to have a massive year for the Washington Commanders. They added to their team older players, so we don't know how long those older players are going to last. Now they're going to hold up. But I think Jay Daniels is a force to reckon with in the NFL for the coming years, as long as he stays healthy. Just wait till you see the top 5, Judd. Just wait till you see it. Just wait till you see it. I'm about to put it up in a few moments. Just wait till you see it. Bo Nix is not greater than Jay Daniels. Not yet. I can't agree with that, K1. I don't know if you're serious or you're trolling, but I can't get behind that comment. I can't. I think Jaden Daniels is going to win an NFL MVP just like Jalen Hurts will at some point in his career. He's a damn good quarterback. And Bo Nix, we'll see. We'll see. I said it. I put this list together, Judge. Steelers at 31 before Aaron Rodgers signed. But once Aaron Rodgers did sign, I also said that I'm not changing it just out of spite at how much I can't stand Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, the one thing we all might agree on, is the most a-hole, D-bag quarterback in the NFL. Why that guy can't just go away, I don't know. Debo also has his little James Harden fat suit on right now. So you got that going as well for it. Dak at 16. Yeah, we already talked about that at K1. He's the middest of mid quarterback. He's average. He's average. So much. Yeah, didn't move the needle. No. The hate is real, but I have Aaron Rodgers hate. I will not hide that fact, Judge. I have massive Aaron Rodgers hate, massive Aaron Rodgers fatigue. The guy just needs to go away. Now, guys, before I reveal my top 5, please hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and vote on the STT Sports Network YouTube poll. Where should Jalen Hurts be ranked on my list or on any list? The first question or answer is number 1 or 2, which is leading the way with 43%. Number 3 to 5 is at 29%. Number 6 through 10 is 14%. And he's not a top 10 quarterback, it's 14%. Which that person, for those people that vote, he's not a top 10 quarterback or just an idiot, just don't know football. They think the people that don't think Jalen Hurts is a top 10 quarterback are the same people that think Justin Herbert's a top 5 quarterback. Again, this list is made solely on the precedent that I want X guy to lead my team to a Super Bowl in 2025 2025 alone. That's it. That's it. That's how we built this list. That's how we do this. Debo got picked. Is Debo 30 years old already? I mean, the Commanders signed a lot of older guys. Debo, Laramie Tunsil. A lot of their guys were in that 29 to 32 year range. Why wouldn't he get dad bod? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's a dad or not. But that's the big question mark with the Commanders is not Jaden Daniels. The big question mark with the Commanders is that they signed too many old players. That they signed too many guys that are just going to be washed by the time the season rolls around. That's the big question. And I don't know the answer to that. But I'm expecting Jaden Daniels to be a damn good quarterback for a long time. That's just me. That's how I see it. That's how I let it play around. Guys, we're going to take this list off. Again, my top 10, 6 through 10, Jaden Daniels, Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, Jordan Love, C.J. Stroud, Tua Tag is number 11, Dak Prescott at 16, Justin Herbert at 15, and yes, the Steelers for Judd at number 31. That's just the way it is. All right, we're going to take that off the list real quick. We're taking that off. Because when in a second here, as we reset, in a second, I'm going to put the updated list with the top 5 on it. We're not doing 5. I'm not going to go 5 and 4. I'm going to put all 5 up there. And it's good. I ain't going to lie. There might be some clickbait stuff on this. There might be a little homerism in this. But I'm also going to say I don't think there is. I think the way I built this list answers what the point is. Who do I want to lead my team to a Super Bowl championship in 2025? You never seem to disappoint, right? You never disappoint with the comments. These surprise shows, people take a while to pop on in. These surprise pop-up shows on the STT Sports Network. You never know. These headsets. I got a new headphone, like a real headset coming in. But these little red ones just suck and echo in my ears so bad. Anyway, is there a drum roll on this new board? I have a drum roll. I think there's a drum roll on here. Oh, that's a bullet. I think there's a drum roll on here. Oh, that's not a drum roll. That's not a drum roll. There's got to be a drum roll somewhere on here. Oh, well. Got a new soundboard with some new sound effects. I know there's a drum roll somewhere. Anyway, without further ado, guys, you're watching Trending in the PM, not AM, right here on the STT Sports Network, guys. Make sure if you haven't already, like, subscribe, and share. Make sure you vote on the poll. I just haven't learned the entire soundboard yet. I haven't learned all the buttons yet. I got to write a list to remind me. Let's test them out. Here we go. It's a little drum beat, not a drum roll. Nope, just did that one. Oh, that's a sucky one. Yeah. What? Why is there a cat sound on my soundboard? That's what I want to know. A little punch to the face there. I like it. I like it. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
All right. Here we go. Are you ready? My top 5 official DraftKings. Yeah, this is great. It's so bad. It's so bad. Here we go. Top 5 list of the ultimate quarterback list. Number 5, Josh Allen. Number 4, the multi-time league MVP, Lamar Jackson. Number 3, Joe Cool himself, Joe Burrow. Number 2, one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time, Patrick Mahomes. And yes, to be clickbaity, I'm admitting I'm doing it. Number 1, my quarterback, the author of a best-selling children's book already, Jalen Hurts is my number 1 quarterback. Now, again, this is who I want to lead my team to a Super Bowl in 2025. Now, while Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are great quarterbacks, they have not gotten to a Super Bowl yet. They haven't proven that they can get the job done in the biggest of big moments. They've gotten it done at moments, but not the biggest of big moments. Oh, absolutely, I'm a homer. And I ain't going to lie. I'm not going to say, oh, well, I'm not going to lie like Chris Simpleton or Dan Sillyman and not say that some homerish jumps in the conversation. I'm not going to say that. But realistically, when it comes down to it, I truly do believe Jalen Hurts has the biggest it factor in the NFL. There is no one that brings the winning mentality that you need to win a Super Bowl like Jalen Hurts. The only one you can argue maybe is Patrick Mahomes. And that's just too easy to put Patrick Mahomes at number 1. If I had any balls, I'd put Josh Allen at number 10 or something like that. All right? Josh Allen has had moments. He has had big games. I mean, you could go and say that game against the Chiefs in the playoffs, what was that, 22, where they went back and forth, scored like 9 times in like 5 minutes. I guess you could say maybe Josh Allen has a chance to get higher. Josh Allen, most people think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in football. Josh Allen has not played in the Super Bowl, which the goal is to get to a Super Bowl and win it. Josh Allen hasn't done it. You can say Josh Allen doesn't have elite talent around him, but he has. Stephen Diggs was there once. Lamar Jackson at number 4, a 2-time MVP, right? I want Lamar Jackson to be better, but I just don't know. Allen arguably has had the worst. Now, that out of the top 5, top 10, let me look through this list here. I'm trying to think of who's got a worse coach than him on this list. Maybe the Bengals actually have a worse coach. I'm not sure. Kyler Murray, early on his career with Cliff Kingsbury, had a worse coach. Tua has a terrible coach. Justin Herbert's got a terrible coach, had one and has one. But yeah, look, I've been talking about Sean McDermott should have been fired 2 years ago on the morning show. I've been talking about that for a long, long time, that Josh Allen and Sean McDermott, they need to part ways with Sean McDermott. I get that. I agree with that. 100%. That whole organization needs a reset. And that's why he's still in my top 5. Number 3, Joe Burrow. Again, at least he's gotten to a Super Bowl. I know Rex Grossman got to one. But I think he's got some form of that. I even think Lamar Jackson has a little bit of that it factor to an extent. I really, truly do. And the it factor, the glorious one, the it factor is important. What is the it factor that I'm talking about? The it factor is a guy, when the going gets tough, doesn't lose faith. When the going gets tough, puts the team on his back. When the going gets tough, doesn't doubt the work, has put in the work to take the team to the next level. There's some. I mean, you look at Patrick Mahomes, greatest quarterback of the second greatest quarterback in the last 20 years, behind Tom Brady. Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, that's 1-2 on the all-time quarterback list, probably, when all's said and done. I mean, they didn't have a super talented team this past year, and he put that team on his shoulders. Yeah, he got some help with the Zebras. I'll agree to that. But Patrick Mahomes knows how to win even when they shouldn't win. And that's what's missing from all these. There's only 3 guys, Hurts, Mahomes, and Burrow, that I would think has what it takes to win when everything says they shouldn't win. And Joe Burrow's a step below that. I think Lamar Jackson has it. I think Lamar Jackson has a better chance of winning a Super Bowl before Josh Allen. I do. And I think when I do this list again next year, this list will look completely different. There's a chance Jay Daniels jumps up. Jordan Love jumps up. A couple other guys jump up. But one guy I know won't jump up on this list is Justin Herbert or Dak Prescott. I just, when I rank my, I know when Chris Sims and these other people out there rank their quarterbacks, they're looking at who can read a defense better. They're looking at who can throw the back shoulder throw. They claim Jalen Hurts can't throw a deep ball, although he's the most efficient deep ball thrower in the NFL. I think, K1, did I spell anybody's names wrong or mess anything up on this list anywhere? I think Jalen Hurts should be looked at as, if not one, the number 2 quarterback with the ultimate goal in mind. The ultimate goal being winning Super Bowl. He's been there 2 of the last 3 years. He's outdueled, arguably, Patrick Mahomes in both Super Bowls. The Super Bowl is when the lights are brightest. That's when you get paid. That's when you earn your reputation. And what has Jalen Hurts done in 2 Super Bowls? He's 1-1, but he's put up better numbers. The list is 100%. I'm glad you spell checked it for me, because that's all that matters. I did have an S at the end of Burrow's name, just because I spelled it the way I pronounced it. But that's my list. Jackson is the anti-Hurts. He's the better regular season quarterback. But just like when we talk the Phillies or the Sixers in Philadelphia, the regular season don't mean shit. You know what matters? when all the chips are on the table, when you look down and you look at your opponent, the World Series of Poker final table, you look down and you go, I'm all in. Who do you want? Do you want a pair of Jalen Hurts? Do you want the ace? Do you want the Jalen Hurts of spades and the Jalen Hurts of hearts? Or do you want the Jared Goff of diamonds and the Jared Goff of clubs? What do you want in your hand? What do you want to be holding? Aces? Or do you want to be holding Jack 10 offsuit? What do you want in your hand? What I want is Jalen Hurts in my hand. He absolutely does. So does Josh Allen to an extent. Most of the time outside of 1 year, so does Joe Burrow. So does Jaden Daniels. So does Justin Herbert. So does Dak Prescott when he even gets to the playoffs. I want people that can win when it matters most leading my team. When I look at my card and I go all in, there's a pair of Jalen Hurts or Patrick Mahomes there. There ain't no Josh Allen. Or I don't even have a Josh Allen and a Lamar Jackson offsuit in there. That's what I care about. I don't give one rat's ass who goes through progressions the best. I don't care one rat's ass who throws the back shoulder throw better. I care when the chips are in the middle, who's coming out on top. You know what's funny? I wasn't planning on this reference, so I might mess this reference up, K1. It seems to be the K1 Judd Joe show. You know, the spur of the moment show that I set up like 2 hours ago. I was watching a Reels earlier today. I was paging through my phone, and a Ron Burgundy reel popped up after the fight with all the news anchors. And they were looking around the room, and it's the part where that escalated quickly. But you guys all held your own in there. You know, you all had each other's backs. When they're all in a fight, when you're in a celebrity death match, who do you want on your team? The guy that doesn't sweat. The guy that doesn't ever lose focus on the ultimate goal. The guy that's not going to crack under pressure. The guy that, if he was down, you look at it this way. Justin Herbert blew a 30-3 playoff lead in halftime. At least Trevor Lawrence should be higher on the list just for the fact that he didn't crack. He led that comeback. If your team was down 30-3 in a playoff game, who do you want as your starting quarterback? To me, it's Jalen Hurts. Good evening, Bruce Harper. Here is my ultimate 2025 quarterback list. This is just for 1 year. It's not going over the next 10 years. This is just who I want being my quarterback in 2025. Who's going to take me to the Super Bowl in 2025? And yes, Jalen Hurts is one. A little bit of homerish in there, but not that much. I really, truly feel Jalen Hurts deserves to be ranked as the best quarterback in the NFL right now. Bruce feels Lamar is better than Burrow and Allen is also better. You know, I don't know. I put Burrow up there because at least he's gotten to the ultimate goal of a Super Bowl. But as K1 said earlier, so is Rex Grossman and a lot of other bad quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson is the best regular season quarterback for sure. Josh Allen has had his moments, and Josh Allen is hampered by a terrible head coach that they just won't get rid of for some reason. But because Burrow has proved that he could do it, Burrow has proved that he could get his team to the ultimate place. He didn't win it, but he got them there. At least I can give him credit for that. I feel hurt. I think Patrick Mahomes is one of the 5 greatest quarterbacks of all time, and I feel like when his career is over, he'll be 2, right after Tom Brady. When it's all said and done, it'll be Tom Brady 1, Patrick Mahomes 2, all time. But right now, going into 2025, I'll take Hurts. What's up, Philly? Bruce should be ahead of Cam, or Bryce should be ahead of Cam, Ward, and JJ. Yes, and I agree because they didn't even play. I get that. I get that thought process, okay? We don't know what Cam Ward's going to be this year. Absolutely agree with you. But we know what Bryce Young is. And he had a couple games at the end of the season where he started. Look, last year I had Bryce Young behind Anthony Richardson. At least Anthony Richardson is behind him now. And J.J. McCarty, I might be a little biased there, okay? Reason being, when that draft came out, he was one of the guys. He and Bo Nix, I said during that draft process, we're going to have the two best careers in that draft class. And I was wrong. Jaden Daniels looks like a stud. I get that. But maybe I'm a little biased on J.J. McCarty. Now, Bryce Young, this is a big year. I think there's a chance when I do this next year, because I've done this. This is my fourth year in a row doing this list. There is a chance when I do this list next year that Bryce Young's in the top 20. I really think that. I'd take a pair of Lamar's to a full. Yeah, exactly. Lamar is 1,000 times the quarterback that Justin Herbert is. I'm not always right, but I'm always right. I also feel Daniels is so skinny that he will get hurt soon. Yeah, I get that. He does have to make sure he learns to protect himself better. I get that. Goff is an underappreciated quarterback. Stafford is still a good quarterback. I just don't know if his body can hold up much longer. I mean, he's getting long in the tooth at this point. He's taken a lot of beatings over the years. A lot of people are downgrading Jaden Daniels just because C.J. Stroud had a bad year last year. And I don't know if that's necessarily fair. C.J. Stroud didn't even have that bad of a year last year that everybody keeps talking about. That's just my opinion. But I get it. You know what's great, Bruce, about lists like this? What's great about them is that they're so subjective. They're all basically opinion. There's no right or wrong list. Even Chris Sims, who makes the worst list every year for clicks. It's just a click. It's just a list. It's just his opinion. One failed quarterback making a list. That's all it is. The reason some quarterbacks have sophomore slumps is that the coordinators all have all. Oh, I get that. I 1,000% understand why they have sophomore slumps. I do. But it doesn't always happen. The Eagles, 2021, Jalen Hurts had a really good rookie year. Took them to the playoffs. He didn't have no sophomore slump. He took them to the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not saying Jaden Daniels is going to do that. I hope not. But I like to think that despite my distaste for Josh Harris because of the Sixers, I like to think that the culture in Washington has changed. Now, they might have an old team around Jaden Daniels, but Dan Quinn has done a good job of building a culture there. And there's enough leadership on that team where they're still going to have a very good season. If the Eagles win 12 games, Washington will win 11, or vice versa. Something like that. I don't want to just say, just because C.J. Stroud did, that Jaden Daniels definitely is. And nobody would say any of those quarterbacks below 8 on your list would be better than some people would. There's a lot of people that still put Justin Herbert in their top 10 or top 5. There's a lot of people that put Brock Purdy or Dak Prescott in their top 10 or top 5. Well, not top 5 for Dak Prescott. There's a lot of people that would disagree with this list. There's still a lot of people that don't think Jalen Hurts. Look, I got a poll going. There's 13 votes on the poll, 8%. So one person already voted that Jalen Hurts is not a top 10 quarterback. One person voted he should be 6 to 10. That is true. That is true. But Riverboat Ron had to deal with, what's his name? Why can't I think of the old owner's name? Why can't I think of the former owner of the Commanders? I don't even know. I would put Bo Nix above Goff or Sarah. Are you joking or are you serious? And if you're serious, I want to know why. And I like Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix can have a very good career. I think Bo Nix is going to impress people. Dan Snyder. Why couldn't I? Like, what's wrong? I couldn't think of Dan Snyder's name. One of the worst owners in the history of sports right there. Like, I don't know if you're serious or not with this. I like Bo Nix. I think Bo Nix is going to have a solid career. How the Broncos manage that organization will determine whether he's having a great career or a good career. And again, we're up to 14 people watching again. Make sure you're liking this video, you're sharing, you're subscribing, you're voting on the poll. We've been live for 50 minutes. I don't know how long we're going to go live for. We need more comments flowing in on Twitter or YouTube, guys. So make sure you're hitting those comments. There will be no trending in the AM tomorrow. We'll be back on the morning show routine on Wednesday. Just got confirmation. Sean Bernard will be joining to break down the NBA draft. And then, of course, Dives will be on Thursday to recap round one. I feel they are wrong because Dak never wins anything, and Purdy hurt a lot, and Tua is always – I think Tua is the one that if Tua was healthy throughout his career, I mean, he's got a – I don't want to say awful, but he's got a bad coach. I would have loved to see Tua and the Dolphins if Brian Flores was allowed to keep his job, how that team would have done. Burrow over Lamar and Allen, even with a down year last year. Interesting. Yeah, and you know what? And Joe, I get it. I get what you're saying 1,000%. Maybe it's just a personal preference. I've seen Allen and Lamar fail in the playoffs more than Joe Burrow did. Joe Burrow's gotten to the ultimate goal of a Super Bowl appearance. But I think you can rank 3, 4, and 5 in any order. And I would say, okay, that's fine. I think 3, 4, and 5 are completely interchangeable. I think 1 and 2 could be interchangeable. I think 3 through 5 could be interchangeable. And you would not get an argument from me on that at all. Joe Burrow just has, I know he's called Joe Cool and stuff like that. I kind of feel like he's got that it factor. That when the going gets tough in a big moment, that he can carry his team. Now I know they had a down year last year. I get that. I understand that. Knicks was really catching on to Peyton's offense toward the end of the season. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I didn't pay enough attention to Denver, what they did this offseason. I thought they lost guys this offseason on offense. I could be wrong on that, K1. And you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe at least he should be ahead of – maybe he should be on the left column at least. He should probably be ahead of Sam Darnold. See, a lot of the – after the top 10, there was a lot of just personal preference and, like, stories. Like, I like the Geno Smith and the Sam Darnold and the Baker Mayfield stories. I like, just hating on Justin Herbert just to hate on him. You know what I mean? I wish Snyder was still the Commander's owner, but then they I love that comment, Bruce. Great comment. Great comment. So since the list is out now, what quarterback outside the top 16 can jump? Well, they all could jump. I think Bo Nix can be in the top 12, potentially. I think Caleb Williams could prove me wrong and do it, but I don't know if he will. I know a lot of people love Drake May. I don't. I don't know. Again, J.J. McCarty and Bo Nix were my favorites in that draft class. So I guess they would be my two answers. I would love to see Sam Darnold because, again, just like I love Geno Smith and Baker Mayfield for their failures turned into success, I could see that. And, I'll throw one other name. And I'm going to give you a bold, who could jump. Shedeur Sanders and the Browns at number 30. He's got a chip on his shoulder. He's immature just like Caleb Williams, overhyped just like Caleb Williams, but he's got a massive chip on his shoulder. Maybe. I could see. Look, I think Caleb Williams, just like I love the stories of Sam Darnold and Geno Smith, etc. Caleb Williams' story is the complete opposite. Caleb Williams came in hyping himself up. There were stories that he wanted part ownership of the team, whoever drafted him. Like he was pulling Ace Bailey kind of shit. But even worse in the draft process. But they have a great team there, the Bears. We'll see if the coach and the organization can pull it together. Who might be something? Caleb Williams? Which one? Dude, that's why you hit the bell. There's a bell on the screen. You hit it. and it sends you a notification when I go live. And if it doesn't, that means you've got notifications turned off on your phone, too. Shedeur Sanders is currently the number 4 quarterback on his own team. So, in that term, yeah, I get it. I'm just giving you a super bold. Joe wanted answers to a question. I gave him answers. I think Bo Nix, J.J. McCarty will take the biggest jumps, maybe. Shedeur Sanders, man. Shedeur Sanders. You know who I hope doesn't take a big jump is Aaron Rodgers. I hope the Steelers and him don't do it. Yeah. He might be something. He might be a total dope. He might be the biggest bust. He also, I was in the draft process when we were talking about the quarterbacks on trending in the AM. I said, because people thought he was going to go in the top 10, that'd be a bigger first-round bust than Jamarcus Russell. But he went, round 5, round 6? It's a big chip on his shoulder. Maybe. I don't know. Damn straight Josh Allen, number 5. Hurts, top 10. Hurts is number 1 quarterback in the NFL. Again, the way this list was made was who do I want running my team, leading my team for 1 year, this year, to win a Super Bowl. And Jalen Hurts is the guy. Do you feel Rodgers can be a top quarterback again? No. I don't think he'd be a top 10 quarterback anymore. Maybe he could be a top 10 quarterback, like in that 8, 9, 10 range. Just because, let's be honest, outside the top 6 quarterbacks in the NFL, it's all just average quarterback play. Am I crazy to say that the average quarterback play in the NFL is at an all-time low? I mean, we're not in an era anymore. Remember, not too long ago, we had Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees. Aaron Rodgers still was in his prime. Early Patrick Mahomes. Like 5, 10 years ago, we had like 6, 7, 8 Hall of Famers at the same time playing football. Now, on this list, there might be 3 Hall of Famers. Phil being a homer. Absolutely, 100%. I think Lawrence and Penix take a big jump. Lawrence, new head coach, new OC. Yeah, maybe you're right. And I think there's a point, maybe last year, 2 years ago, I had Trevor Lawrence much higher on this list. And he definitely regressed under Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson did him no good. Michael Penix, I don't know what to think about him. I don't. I'm not sure if he's a good quarterback or not. Trevor Lawrence, I think there's a pedigree there. Michael Penix, is he like 47 years old already? And he had a full off season, but he had a loaded offense last year. I mean, they still have Kyle Pitts, Drake London, Bijan Robinson. Do they have an offensive line? I don't know. I'm torn. I see your Trevor Lawrence side, especially with the new head coach, offense coordinator. I'm not sure I could buy into the Michael Penix. If anything, I think I might have Michael Penix too high on the list at this point. Which question? About Aaron Rodgers? About what? You got to be more specific. Maybe quarterback play is a few good sprinkled in with mid on. I really think that it. Oh, you're talking about my question about it's the most average point. Like, I'm 44 years old. Early in my life, we had the Joe Montana, Steve Young. We had great quarterback Brett Favre, John Elway. We had greats back then. Then we transitioned to the Tom Brady era with a lot of great quarterbacks. Now we got a lot of. Is Jordan Love that much better or worse than Dak Prescott? Is Kyler Murray that much different than Geno Smith? Like, there's a lot of mid quarterback play in the NFL right now, to use your word. I thought he was older than. Well, I guess he was. He was a very old quarterback in the NFL. If he just turned 25, it means he was 24 when he got drafted, which is pretty old for a quarterback to get drafted in the NFL. You could be. I could have a very old child at this point. Granted, Phil, I'm biased, Falcons fan. Well, I appreciate that you tune in. So tell me, should like explain what Michael Penix is. I know he had a huge injury issue coming out of college. A lot of injuries in college. He was in college forever, probably because of the injuries. Like, feel weird not even having Kirk Cousins on this list. Isn't Kirk Cousins still your second string quarterback now? You're paying him like $700 million this year to be your backup. Like, I don't know if moving on from Kirk Cousins for Michael Penix was even the right idea. There's more upside, but there's also a lot more downside to Michael Penix, despite the weapons that you bring up, Joseph. I don't know. Michael Penix on this list is the one I have the least idea on how to formulate an opinion on. I just don't know. Penix, I don't even think Joseph would say he could be a top 10 guy in this upcoming year. That's a lot of names to jump over. I mean, Russell Wilson might not be on this list next year. Neither might a few others on this list. I don't know. I don't know how to rank Michael Penix, to be honest with you. I really, truly don't. Was he Iowa? I couldn't remember even where he played. Jordan Love, after that, drop off. Yeah, I could see Matthew Stafford falling down this. So Joseph asked who was going to jump up the most. I'm going to ask now who will drop the most going into next season. Indiana, Iowa, whatever. It was an I school. I could see Matthew Stafford dropping a lot next year on this list. I could see maybe Patrick Mahomes, maybe. I could see basically 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, all dropping down the list next year. That I do remember. Yeah, he was a Washington. Yeah, that's right. I got you. You're talking to a guy that doesn't watch a lot of college football, so it's hard. I basically start paying attention to college, when the draft process starts, 4 weeks before. And guys, if anybody's watching now, make sure you head on over to the YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe. Here's my Eagles football autograph by 2 Super Bowl champions, Cooper DeJean and Darius Slay. We are going to be raffling this off to raise money for Eagles Autism Foundation. The raffle instructions will be released in about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So make sure you're subscribed. That's where all the details on how you can win this autograph football will be right here on the STT Sports Network YouTube page. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. Stafford could age out. I already think Stafford's aging out. That's why I put Jared Goff ahead of him. You just like typing Penix? Yeah, I got you. Can only go up from where Ritter gave us 2 years ago and the noodle on Kirk Cousins. Saw a lot of bright spots in the last few games last year. Yeah. I mean, that's why I put Bryce Young ahead of Anthony Richardson, because I saw a few bright spots. Maybe I just didn't see or watch enough Penix. He wasn't on national TV. We didn't have to play him late, anything like that. So maybe I'm wrong on him, Joseph. Maybe. I mean, I've been known to be wrong once or twice in my life. Doesn't happen often, but it happens occasionally. Rarely. Who's going to take the biggest drop? Joseph wants to know who's going to take the biggest jump. Also on this list. Not who's going to jump the most, who's going to drop the most. Who's got the most, which quarterback, probably in the top 16, has the most pressure on them in the 2025 season? I think Jordan Love has a little bit of pressure. Tua has a little bit of pressure. Kyler Murray does. Justin Herbert, I mean, people just love Justin Herbert so much. So I guess he doesn't have any pressure. Does Caleb Williams have pressure yet? I don't know. Some of them have excuses with new quarterbacks or new schemes. Who's got the most pressure entering the 2025 season at the quarterback position? Jalen Hurts can't be the answer because he's the reigning defending Super Bowl MVP. Patrick Mahomes will never have pressure because he's, again, going to go down as the second greatest quarterback of all time. Does Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, or Josh Allen? I mean, Josh Allen, if he fails this year, they'll just fire, Sean McDermott and use that as an excuse. Who's got the most pressure to jump up this list this year? I don't know. I think there's another interesting question that could be had there. I do. All right, anyway, Jalen Hurts, number one quarterback on my list. Maybe a little homer in me with it, and I ain't going to lie about that. But also, if Chris Sims can keep Jalen Hurts off his list, I can put him number one on my list. If these other people can leave him off their top 11 athletes in Philadelphia list, I can put him number one on my list. You know why? Because it's just a list. And it's subjective to my opinion. Lists are meant to generate conversation. Lists are meant to be an opinion. That's why I did it. This is my opinion. I really, truly believe Jalen Hurts going into 2025 is the best quarterback in the NFL. When you talk about winning a championship, and that's it. That's all we're talking about is winning championships here. That's how I formulate. That's how I put this together. I might be wrong. The last time I ranked an Eagles quarterback, I wonder if I can find last year's list. Let me see if I can find it. I think where are bookmarks on that? I think I got last year's list bookmarked somewhere. Yeah, there it is. So last year I Jalen Hurts at 4. Here. So let's take this off. I'm going to share something. This was last year's list. Just so you guys know. Just so you guys know. Here was last year's list, okay? How can I do this on the screen to make it easy for you guys to see? I think that's the best way. Last year was Mahomes, Burrows, Jackson. I had Josh Allen at 7 last year. Oh, my God. I had Aaron Rodgers at 8 last year. Damn. I had Deshaun Watson on I had Justin Herbert at 15 on last year's list, too. How about that? Look at EOP getting a free promotion there. Caleb Williams at 23. Geno Smith at 20, Kyler Murray at 19. Bunch of guys took jumps on this list. All right. I had Jaden Daniels at number 30. I had Anthony Richardson 4 spots ahead. Oh, that was so bad. Let's take that off the screen. Let's put this list back up. Let's put the real list back up. God damn, that list last year was bad. What you're saying is Nick Sirianni is the best coach in the NFL. I mean, at this point, yes. That is what I'm saying. I still can't believe the Justin Herbert ranking. He may need representation. No. I'm the only one that's willing to admit it. I'm the only one that's willing to admit that Justin Herbert is not a good quarterback. A quarterback is supposed to be the leader of your team. A quarterback is supposed to take you over the top when the going gets tough. Justin Herbert doesn't do that. Everybody else overrates him, not me. 3 through 6 is pretty close. I agree with you on that, Jim. Guys, check out Jim. The number one realtor in the Delaware Valley right there. My man. I think 3 through 6 is interchangeable. I think 7 through 10 interchangeable. 11 through 16, 11 through 14 interchangeable. 15 through 20 interchangeable. Yeah. Herbert versus Stiefel all the way. Sure. Bring it on. There ain't a jury in the world that'll convict me in that argument. I will not lose that. There's no jury of my peers that won't take my side. And Mr. Cherry would be repping me, who gave him the greatest ad reads of his life. Okay? The greatest ad reads of his life came from me. Tim, going from Twitter to YouTube. I love it. Make sure you're voting, like, and subscribing, guys. Herbert stinks. I think he is so overrated. Hasn't done anything. Exactly. How many quarterbacks have had a 30-3 halftime lead in a playoff game and lost the playoff game? I can name one, and his name is Justin Herbert. Winners don't blow that, okay? Winners don't blow that. Losers do. Guys that don't have the it factor. You got to be glorious to have the it factor, okay? No one's getting that reference, okay? I made that reference like 7 times in the last 70 minutes. No, where's Mitchie Poo when you need him to get a reference? I don't know. He's not the glorious one with the it factor. Okay? Exactly. I mean, my ad reads were the greatest. Now, I just need to get the subscriber count up and the viewership count up. Although our viewership has actually been very solid on this channel over the last month, despite the subscriber count not going up. Most people, I see people with 10,000 subscribers getting 200, 100 views. I get 90 to 120 views a show with 500 subscribers. Why? Because my people are consistent. Okay? But anyway, I can't get a David R. Cherry to sponsor me until I get the numbers up a little higher. I got to be able to present them with numbers, K1. So you want me to do a David R. Cherry read? Get me to 1,000 subscribers. And then we'll see. I would rank Dak over Herbert for the simple. Look, Dak is the most average quarterback there is. See, the thing with Dak Prescott that annoys me, and I probably should have put Dak over Herbert just to piss even more people off. I should have probably put Justin Herbert on the right-hand column in the 17 through 20 range. I actually liked Dak Prescott. What was it? Mississippi State. Thought he was going to be a talented quarterback. I thought he was a combo of Dante Culpepper mixed with Don McNabb when he came out of college. That's what I thought. Because I was watching college football. I liked the guy, Dak Prescott. If he was on any other team in the NFL, I'd probably cheer him on. But I can't. Hey, fat fingers are a problem. I have fat finger issues all the time, you know. Please tweet you have Hurts one. Oh, I will. And there'll be a lot of people that'll hate me on it. And there'll be a lot of people that love it. I don't have any access to old shows. You have to go to the Party on Broad page. Because Party on Broad's page is what the old EOP page got bought out by Dot. Or not bought out, but turned over to Dot. And that's where that is. Also, the Purdy ranking, I think, is rather high. I have him in the 20s. Well, I can't put him ahead of Herbert or Dak. I can understand Bo Nix ahead of him. K1's brought up Bo. I definitely think, out of all things I can agree with the comments, I have Bo Nix too low. I could get behind that, Joseph. I don't know how many quarterbacks are better on this list in the 20s than Brock Purdy. It's a big year for Brock. Next year, Brock Purdy's either going to be back in the top 10 like he was last year or outside the top 20. Why I have Burrow over Jackson? Because Lamar Jackson's a choke artist when the playoffs come around. All right? Because my list, Adam, and thank you for tuning in, Adam. How are you? My list is who I want leading my team for 1 year, this year, to get my team to the Super Bowl. Burrow has a little bit more of the it factor, in my humble opinion. This is my opinion. But I think you can rearrange 3, 4, 5 in any order. And I wouldn't argue with it. Hurts 1, Mahomes 2. You want to go Mahomes 1, Hurts 2? Sure. You want to go Burrow, Jackson, Allen, Burrow, Allen, Jackson, Jackson, Burrow, Allen, Jackson, Allen, Burrow, whatever. I'm fine with all that. I think Burrow, maybe I buy into the title of Joe Cool a little too much. Maybe that's on me. And again, everybody watching, make sure you like and subscribe and share, but also vote on the poll. At least we're close to 60% of the people said Jalen Hurts should be ranked 1 or 2. 24% said 3 through 5. 12% said 6 through 10. 6 people said he's not a top 10 quarterback. Those 6% of the people are dumbasses, plain and simple. It's after 9 o'clock. I can say dumbasses and get away with it. Who cares? But this is my list. This is where I got it. But again, lists are just that, opinions. Okay? And we're going to celebrate my list. See? Sound effects. That's the next level, right? We gained a subscriber tonight. We're up to 546 subscribers, only 14 likes on the video. Thought we'd have a little higher than that at this point. So there's 14 people watching. Please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Again, you want to subscribe. Because the only way you have a chance at winning this football is watching this channel. Okay? Autographed by Cooper DeJean. Gary Slay. The instructions on how to win that will be released in a few weeks. Adam, thank you. Muchas gracias. I appreciate you very much there, my man. All hail the list. Lists are the best. But again, Adam, you're too kind. You're too kind, my man. The soundboard is sick. That sound effect didn't do nothing. Oh. Dak is mid. Dak is mid. Let's see here. What other effects do we have? Oh, that was a kiss. Phil, here's a question. Based on the quarterback rankings, what college is represented the most? That's a tough question because I don't watch a lot of college football. All right? I am not a huge college football guy. But give me a second to think about this here, okay? Hurts was Bama / Oklahoma. Mahomes was, I forget where, but it was a small school. Red, right? Was there one of their colleges? Joe Burrow was LSU, right? Lamar Jackson was Louisville. Josh Allen was a small school. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know what it's got. It's not one. The effect volume can go up a little higher. When a soundboard has you just made the list, I will admit, yeah, you just made the list. That's that right there. Look, I'm not sure, Joseph. I'm trying to figure this out. JJ McCarty, Michigan, Washington for Penix. I don't know. Russell Wilson was what? Wisconsin. But no, there's a way. I got an instruction manual here. Okay, I haven't read yet. There's a way to reprogram some of these sound effects. So I'd have to download the sound effect, program into the board. There's an instruction for that. I'll probably never get to that point. There's also a Bluetooth setting, and I've already connected my cell phone to the Bluetooth setting. So if I wanted to, I could take phone calls now. Just so you know, I could take phone calls live on the air here on the STT Sports Network with this guy. Just so you know. So answer the question, Joseph. I'm not sure. Dak Prescott, Michigan State. Baker was Texas or Texas A&M. No, that was wrong mid quarterback there. I'm not sure what the answer is. But anyway, guys, this is the ultimate 2025 quarterback ranking list. Jalen Hurts 1, Patrick Mahomes 2, Joe Burrow 3, Lamar Jackson 4, Josh Allen 5. This is it. I might wrap this up in the next 5 or 10 minutes. We got about 14 people watching. You better light up the comment section, or I'm calling it a show in the next 5 minutes or so. Drunk dial Big Sills once you figure out the board. Does he take phone calls on this show? Give me 2 more mojito, por favors, and maybe I will. I didn't know he took phone calls. Big Sills got nothing on this channel, on this show right here, right? He's got nothing. Oklahoma, Hurts, Baker, Kyler. Kyler was Oklahoma too? That's right, you're right. Bama, Hurts, Tua, Bryce Young. I should have known Alabama had Tua and Young. That's my mistake on that, Joe. I forgot. I didn't know Kyler was Oklahoma guy, or forgot about it. And Baker, I should have known that. That's a good call. Good call. Crazy that Bama's got the most names on this list, right? Because they're not a quarterback factory, so to speak. You know, there have been a lot of average quarterbacks that came out of the Nick Saban era for all the titles that they won. That's interesting. You look at the Eagles roster, littered with Alabama, Georgia Bulldogs, and elite program guys. But yeah, the soundboard probably has the old ad read. Brazil! No. I don't miss doing Brazil. I don't miss doing that. I miss trying to find a way to get David Archeri added into every show. But it doesn't have to be David Archeri. I'll ad read for anybody. I don't make it perfect for anybody. Okay? I will. You know why? I'm the best damn ad read, ad lib, ad reader there is in the business, okay? I find a way to get every ad mixed in somehow. It's just what I do best. Mahomes consistently gets there. I got to go him at 1, Hurts at 2. Absolutely, Steve. And you're justified in that, okay? Absolutely agree. And yes, I definitely will admit that about 5 to 10% of my reasoning of putting Hurts ahead of Mahomes is to garner clicks, because after the show is over, that graphic is going on Twitter, and I'm going to share it out with a link to the show. I will absolutely do that. There's definitely some portion of me that did that purposely like that. I'm not going to lie. 100%. That's all that matters, Adam. Let's go Birds, right? No, we want people to pay. That's what we want. I think the list is good. I think there's arguments and discussions to be had, but I don't think anybody on this list, and Joe, I know Joseph disagrees with a couple of names. I don't think anybody's like so far out of place on the list, outside Justin Herbert, according to him, that it's like controversial. Hurts conversation equals clicks, not clout, click. Absolutely. All right. 3 Ohio State quarterbacks: Fields, C.J. Stroud, and Joe Burrow. I mean, Joe Burrow was there for a minute. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. Look at Steven. Steven knows his Ohio State because he's one of those weird Buckeye dudes living in the Philadelphia area, but a fan of the Buckeyes. What's up with that? No, it's all good. Anyway, guys, I think it's been fun. Again, there's going to be no trending in the AM tomorrow, but we'll be back Wednesday with trending in the AM. Sean Bernard will be on. We're going to be talking Sixers, NBA draft. Who should the Sixers select at 3 or wherever? Tomorrow night, Fairway to Heaven, 6 p.m. We're going to be talking Tommy Lad. We're not doing ranks for everybody. I am working on my preseason power rankings, team power rankings. Hint, hint, hint. The Eagles might be number 1 on that list. Maybe. Defending Super Bowl champions always should be number 1 on power ranking list going into week 1. But I haven't put that together. But we'll get back to next week's going to be a weird one next week, because next week I'm going to be in the Outer Banks. I don't know what I'm doing shows-wise next week. I'm going to be set up. I'm bringing the whole setup with me to the Outer Banks. But I'm also on vacation. I don't want to wake up at 6:30 in the morning to do a show on vacation. I also have a lot of family at this vacation, so I don't know when I'm going to have free time. I'm going to put out content on vacation. It's just going to be that's why you hit the notification bell, so you know when I'm live. Who cares how many touchdowns he had? He won the goddamn Super Bowl and was the MVP. Thank you, Adam. Thank you. And thank you very much. Flyers made a trade today. They did. The Flyers just aren't part of the conversation right now. You got the draft going on. The Phillies took 2 out of 3 from the Mets, and the Flyers made a trade. It's hashtag Hatteras life. There's a point in my life that I thought I was going to move to Cape Hatteras in the Outer Banks. Love that town. It's a laid-back town. Be there all next week. I'm going to be there Sunday to Sunday next week. Live from Wilmington. Not from Wilmington, no. Make sure to check out Fairway to Heaven. The boys are hot. The other 2 boys, I got 4 outrights. The other guys got like a dozen. It's like I'm falling behind. I was red hot to start the year. I'm so far behind now, these boys. But yes, we got a lot to talk about with the Rocket Classic and recapping Tommy Ladd collapsing again. So we'll be all over that tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Again, guys, let's wrap this shebang up. Everybody like, share, subscribe. Let's take this off the screen. Like, share, subscribe. Guys, everybody have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow night, 6 p.m., Fairway to Heaven. And lots of other content coming your way this week. So, guys, make sure you're locked in. Go Birds! And are you ready?
You ready?
Are you ready to end the show? I don't know if you guys are or not. You missed the show. I'm wrapping it up, Pump Man. You jumped in at the last. Hold on. We're gonna extend this show for 2 more minutes. So Brian Pump Man, you can see that I put Jalen Hurts number 1 on the list. Number 1 on the list. I just want to do that for you, Pump Man. You'll have to come back on another show to tear my list apart. But anyway, guys, I gotta wrap this shebang up. Everybody have a great night. Go Birds. Thank you, Adam. Go Birds.